Stockport County Live back up and rolling with Matty Mainwaring. My name's Chris Ridgway, but that's not important. Liam Dickinson, the boy, tells us he's on the way, Matty, so we'll just start without him.
He's always on the way, isn't he? We played Salford not long before I moved to boxing. He lives about 30 seconds from the ground, and he was late, and everyone else was on time. So he's always on the way. Yeah, he's always.
Did he always rock up with like a bottle of Desperados? Just.
Oh yeah. The Desperado carried him. Yeah, definitely. No, he'll be here. He'll be here. There's a wave there, Chris. First, little wave with your right hand, mate.
This one.
The other right. Yeah.
The other right hand. Yeah. Repetitive strain injury, mate.
What's that, mate? I don't know anything about it. What's that?
No, very unfortunate accident. Listen, you know as well as anyone else, mate, boxing is a brutal sport, and it can bring certain injuries with it. Even if it's just a punch bag you're hitting and you are weak as pish. So,
is that what's happened?
Well, do you know what? I don't actually know 100% what's happened. Dicko's just texted us, by the way, saying he can hear your tummy rumbling because he knows that you're on for tea tonight. He's trying to hurry up. Do you know what? Without going into too much information, I've got like a little private gym, and I've been on the bag, been doing the weights, been doing press ups, and then I play footy twice a week as well. And I've done it somewhere along the way, doing one of these things, but for weeks and months, which is a silly thing to do. I've not done anything about it. Carried on doing what I do. Eventually went and got it x-rayed, and there's a hairline fracture that goes from about here to about down to where my watch is.
Right.
It's quite a long one. And they say it's deeper in the middle, so it's obviously just kept growing and growing out. But
right.
What are you going to do? I tell you what, when you're stuck in a hotel in a different country and your hand's in a cast, let's not make any jokes, it just takes away.
Right, come on. Not even 9 o'clock yet. Come on, keep it real.
I was talking about the remote control. What did you think I meant?
I know you was. Come on, mate. Keep it PG.
I had to get something in before Dicko comes in because he's.
He'd have beat you to it, wouldn't
he? Yeah, you know he's going to do something. But listen, yeah. So that's how I've been. I've been keeping busy, as you know. Bit of boxing here, bit of boxing there, bit of boxing absolutely everywhere at the moment. But Sky Sports doing well, so that's what matters to us at the moment. What have you been up to?
I've been mobbed busy, mate, to be honest. I've also been enjoying the boxing the last couple of weeks. It's been absolutely brilliant. This weekend just gone, obviously this is a county podcast, but this weekend just gone 3 wonderful fights in the Cheeseman fight, the Fowler fight, and the Fury fight. It's been wicked. Yeah. I've missed the Premier League. I'm not going to lie. I miss it when it's not on at weekend. You know, it's internationals are okay, but it's not quite the same. And like I've always said, I tend to generally follow the clubs I've played for, namely county, because 95% of my games were for county, and that's my home. But I think it's nice also to keep your eye on the Premier League and what's going on. And I do miss that. So looking forward to it back this weekend.
Well, I was at Newcastle's ground earlier on. And obviously what's going on there with the takeover and the fact that they're now the richest club by some distance in the whole universe is crazy. And the buzz around the city, I put this on Twitter before, the buzz around the city is, it's next level. Now, obviously we were in privileged positions. We knew that things were happening at county a little bit before things got out officially, but I don't think it was any particular secret that everyone knew the club was in talks to be sold. And the buzz that was coming from that, it's the same here, and everyone talks about fans of the North East. And I always think it's a little bit cliche, when you could say that about any club, you know what I mean? All the fans are magnificent up in there. But in Newcastle, I was walking through the city earlier today. It's a Thursday afternoon, nothing in particular going on, a bit of a dreary weather day. And there's people walking around the streets of Newcastle just singing Newcastle songs because this takeover is coming in. It's bonkers. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. It's next level. But this is the football bug, isn't it?
It is, and they're a massive club, Newcastle. I've always said a little a little side dream for me, if you like, if I was ever lucky enough to get to that level. There's 2 clubs I would have loved to have played for. One is Newcastle, because the fan base, the size of the ground, the football's a language in the northeast, And the other one is Leeds. Same again, both sleeping giants, if you like. And I did actually say to my dad a little while ago, it's only a matter of time before the likes of Newcastle take over and do what City have done. City in the lower leagues, all the way to the Premier League, European Cup final, so many Premier League titles. This is the takeover that the fans would want and need. So I think a club of that stature, I think before this, they'd probably be lucky to stay up this year, barring a few really exceptional players. I think they're everybody's meat and drink. I think that they're cannon fodder for a lot of teams. I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
It boosts the whole economy and everything around it. Oh, bloody hell. There's a ring at the door. Oh, here he comes.
Only me.
Oh!
Who have you been sparring with?
Matty, he's beating me up.
Jesus Christ.
You had a trim there, Dicko.
Just forward out, mate. I'm getting old now.
You've gone short there, haven't you?
Yeah, mixed it up a little bit.
Makes you up, mate. That's what we like. He doesn't just play up front, this one. Plays all over.
How are we, young?
What's happened, lad? Oh, you're not away, are you? You're working away, aren't you? So you're not with your missus. That's, happens to the best of us, that, mate, in hotel rooms.
Listen, repetitive strain, what are you going to do? Do you know what? I'm actually quite glad I didn't have this on, because he might not come near me. I was trying to poach from Chelsea last week. This is where I can name drop a little bit, because there was 2 potential Ballon d'Or winners standing next to each other in Jorginho and myself. And what are you laughing at?
I saw it, mate. Jorginho Ballon d'Or. Come on, mate.
I'm laughing at
that. But yeah, listen, I mentioned I floated the idea of coming playing at County to him. He didn't say no. But he didn't say yeah either. So
you can't do the winning team.
No, you can't.
Yeah. Does he get? Who do you drop for him at the minute?
Struggling, mate. He's struggling. He's not going to be happy.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. But yeah. So this is just a minor setback, mate. Nothing to worry about, though. I appreciate your concern.
So can you fight on Saturday or not?
It's actually a bit of a childhood dream, because I used to watch a lot of wrestling, and one of my favourite videos was when The Rock beat up Shane McMahon with a cast on his arm.
Plaster of Paris. You only need your jab, mate. You only need your jab.
That's it. Stand behind your jab, mate.
It is plaster of Paris as well, so it's hard as you like.
So what? Oh, mate, we need to sign it. You need to get all the boxers to sign it.
I'll do that.
You know what you could do? I'll tell you what you could do. How about this one for you? You could get some decent names to sign it, some big boxers to sign it, and auction it off for charity.
No one wants my sweaty cast.
Stockport County charity. You might listen. So you might get 40 quid for it. 40 quid's better than that.
Oh, Dicko, is that you saying you would buy it for 40 quid?
I'll start the bidding at 40 quid. There you go.
Okay. Do you know what? I actually am in the next hotel room. Just behind me, just there. There is a Hall of Fame, world-class, world champion, all-time great boxer, who I'm fortunate enough to call quite a good friend now. So,
are we allowed
to give me initials?
Roy Jones Jr.
Give me an initial, Roy Jones Jr.
RJJ. But
knock on the wall, Chris. Hey, Roy. Hi.
Oh, what if he comes round? Imagine if that'd be some scoop, wouldn't it? If we
had on the podcast.
So, Roy, tell us about Simon Rusk's decision to play this guy and this guy and beat Aldershot, which is what we should be talking about. It is Stockport County Live. Liam Dickinson, Matty Mainwaring. Good evening, podcast Thursdays.
Oi, oi. How are we, chaps? You well?
Yeah, boy.
Oh.
County, good win at the weekend. Tyson Fury, good win at the weekend. But as we mentioned last week, I think we covered a lot of boxing last week. So let's start with the footy. A couple of wins on the spin now, and a potential banana skin this week, but also a potential for a big win. And if we get that, okay, yes, it's only little old Stamford. However, it's that momentum, isn't it? It's the winning that keeps going.
Yeah, it is. I don't think it's such game as a small game these days. You never hear anyone say we've got a game next week. We should be fine. It's, especially at this level, it's difficult unless you're Man City or PSG or whatever. You're not. Every game's a cup final because until you're up, until you're in the division above, you're never safe. Before we get onto that as well, based on what I've seen, a couple of things. I think first off, and this is a bit different to what we spoke about before, but I think we need to give some credit to the groundsman. I was looking at the pitch; it looks exceptional for October.
Liam Cash.
It looks absolutely brilliant. It looks brilliant. I was thinking that is a July pitch, and the other thing as well is John Kieran's commentary never fails to excite me. I think he's superb. He's absolutely exceptional. Every time I watch, he's got me on the enemy seat listening. So those two things, I feel like they need their credit. But looking at the game, we said it was only a matter of time, didn't we, before Paddy Madden starts banging them in. Now he's 3-3.
Yeah.
3-3, yeah. 3 wins on the spin, like Liam says there. We're in a good place, but again, this is a tough game this weekend because these will be coming to turn us over in Giant Kill.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. And like most teams will, like Matt's hitting the nail on the head there. There's no easy game in this league. It's probably the toughest league to get out of. So building this momentum at this time after a shaky start, I feel like we're building the momentum at the right time now. We've got you say a potential banana skin, but again we go back to that one. Every game is a banana skin. We've just got to go about it the right way, the professional way. Fantastic! I'm absolutely over the moon with Paddy getting on the score sheet again and coming into his own and becoming the leader that he is on and off the pitch. We've said this last season. We said it when he signed. It was almost like it was a statement made by Stockport County that they can attract players like that, and he's coming good, and it was only a matter of time till he come good for me. And yeah, it's fantastic to see the fans happy again. It's the club's been through some tough times, and we've had the joy of the last couple of seasons, and we're obviously missing out last season on promotion. But again, it's that excitement's back again now, and the enjoyment and we're winning games where it's a performance where we've not played the best, but we've nicked to win. They're the most important ones. So I'm excited to see the next couple of weeks hold.
What do you? In fact, before we go into next week, I want to give Matty the opportunity because he does it so well. Just break down what exactly about the Aldershot game worked. What went right.
I mean, I have to be honest. It could have gone either way. They had plenty of chances. Individual performances. If we look at Ethan Ross, for example, after making, sure, if it's a bit of a grey area. Was it his mistake? Was it Liam Hogan's mistake? The Weymouth game. It doesn't matter. It was a mistake. After such a poor mistake, in that match to come back, I thought he was very strong. He was very strong in the Aldershot game. He flew off his line a few times. Closed the angle on the strikers. He saved us a couple of times there. Those individual performances make a difference. I think South of Wales as well. He was doing damage at both ends of the pitch. He was helping out that end and he was delivering at that end. We've said it about John Rooney before, all over the place. The strikers, Paddy Madden. He's not just there to bang goals, and he's there to contribute the same way Liam used to contribute in your playing days. So, he has been playing well. The goals just haven't quite been there. Now they're there, so he's firing on all cylinders. And I think it's, it could be that gelling aspect, what you spoke about, Chris, where it's going to take a few games. We've said it a while ago. It seems to be happening now. We're picking points up away from home, not just points, 3 points as well. So going into weekend, there's pressures on us, yes. But, can you ask for more 3 out of 3? No, you can't.
Dicko, and again, I don't want to keep dragging this term up because I get blamed for being negative, but there have been times when I get blamed for being too positive, so I guess it's going to come either way. There was that term you used a while ago, and in my opinion, you were right to use it, is wind papering over the cracks. I feel like those cracks are now being properly filled in.
Yeah, that's I couldn't agree more. that's the hardest part. Noticing the cracks. When you win, you forget about the mistakes that have been made or the performances, because the scoreline does paper over the cracks a lot of the times. But if we've got into a routine now and that consistency of picking up the points on our travels and at home, then we're not papering over the caps. We're dealing with the situations that need dealing with, and it's only early doors, but I feel like they are we're taking into consideration the things that they need to work on, and it seems like the players are playing the Rusk way now, and it's working. And I for sure I'm over the moon about it, honestly.
Yeah. So okay, looking ahead then.
Sorry guys, I don't know if I've missed anything at the start, but shout out to Conor Jennings back in, back with boots on. Unbelievable! Yes. It's an absolute lift for the players, the fans, the club, and for him on a personal note, he must be absolutely over the moon.
It's just another reminder. It's just another reminder, isn't it, that there are things so much bigger than football.
So much bigger, mate, and things are so much more important than football, and it also shows that how special the football community is, and how much it means to everyone else. Players that have played against him, with him, fans that have watched him will all be absolutely over the moon to see him put them boots back on and get involved with the lads and do what he absolutely loves doing and was born to do.
Matty, I know that you're close with the Jennings guys. How was it for you just seeing those pictures of Conor back out there?
It's great. I mean, Liam beat me to it there, because that was definitely something I wanted to mention tonight. And just the fact that Liam's mentioned it, it shows the impact it's had on somebody like Liam, myself, and yourself. It's great to see him. I'll give him a massive confidence booster. Like Liam said there, he's born to do it. He's a Stockport lad, and the whole of Stockport and the community will be behind him. And it's one step closer to getting back to where he belongs.
Yeah, no, you are right, and we hadn't mentioned that at the start, Deco. So, it was going to come up tonight, but it's only right that it's brought up. Congratulations to Conor. Deco, what are you on there?
Jack Daniels and Coke tonight.
In a pint glass.
Yeah.
I like your style.
The kids have smashed all my glasses, mate, so I'm on pint glasses of Jack Daniels and Coke with a handle. You can technically that at Salford.
Let's talk about Stamford. We mentioned Staines the other week. It's a pretty fitting kind of comparison, really.
Yeah.
Matty said it a moment ago. There's no such thing as a little game. People will always look at the games, but for me, it's what the FA Cup represents. I hate the cliche magic of the cup. I try and say it as little as I can on the radio, as little as I can anywhere else, because it's a load of nonsense, if I'm honest, the magic of the cup. That being said, the magic of the cup, for me, is not when it's on the pitch and blah, blah, blah. It's when you're all getting together and you're talking about who you've got in the next round or talking where you might go next. The magic of the cup happens off the pitch rather than on it. For me, don't get me wrong, I know there's great goals that have been scored and good wins, and of course that's enjoyable. But that's when the real stuff comes. But to be there, you've got to get through these things. For Stamford, this is their moment. This is their magic of the cup moment. So for us now, if we want to be talking about, we want to go and get, I don't know, Liverpool away down the line, or bloody Man United, or whoever you can think of, this is the path to it. You've got to get through this path to get onto that one. So it's by no means a game we can just take lightly.
Definitely not. No, and you mentioned there about Liverpool's and the Cities and Uniteds. I think, given the backing we've got this year, it's not anymore just about going there for a payday, because we have got great backing. It's about winning these games to get into those big games, to then win those big games and progress. I think that's great, and Liam, no one will be able to vouch for this more than you. I think these types of games can generally be harder than the big games, because you've got nothing to lose in the big games.
Yeah, agreed, mate. Especially for the smaller teams, there's no expectation on them. I've played in some games where I've played at Watford away, I've played at Aston Villa away, and it's that one opportunity some players will only ever get to play against a Premier League team or a Championship team, or on a pitch as good as that. And it is really, honestly, it's just like a fairy tale cup, isn't it? And if they come to us, if they beat us, they'll be known as the new giant killers, and that's what clubs want to do. But it's about being professional for us, I think, on the day, going about our business the way we need to, doing everything correct, doing everything right, and getting the result, getting the job done, and then moving on to the next game. We can't. I don't think you can dwell and think about too far ahead. You can't think about these. Or if we beat these, then we beat the next round, and we're playing a Liverpool. You've got to take every game as it comes, because that is going to be a tough game, no matter who you play, no matter the league they're in, the standard they play. It's going to be a tough game because it's the most prestigious cup for me around.
Were either of you ever, as players, were you ever in the position where you were all huddled round in the dressing room or at one of the lads' houses or whatever, watching the draw, and you got it? You got that big name, and you all just start going crazy.
I've been obviously not huddled around, but in the group chat and stuff, and I think it was on Blackberry at the time. I think it was all on Blackberries, and yeah, I was at Brighton at the time, and we drew Aston Villa away, and it was like, fucking hell, Aston Villa away, mate, decent Premier League team. All you ever wanted to do was play against the Premier League team. So that was a big one for me. I mean, the biggest one for County was Watford away. But there's never been. I mean, we were one when I was at Southend. Southend, and we done well. We got a couple of victories in a bag, and we went away to Oldham. One of our players, I was on the bench with the gaffer arrested me at the time. I was fuming, mate. Back at home, I was back in Manchester. My friends were there, coming to watch the game. My family was there, and they started me on the bench. Obviously, we were flying in the league. We were top of the league, and he wanted to take me for the league. So started me on the bench, and one of our strikers got sent off. Bilal Mojni got sent off. So went defensive, didn't get on the pitch. We were peppering him as well before he got sent off. If we would have beat them, we would have drew Liverpool. Wow. I was fuming, mate. I was gutted. Like that would have been the biggest one for me. It was at Anfield as well, so that would have been nice.
That's a killer, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
How about you, Matt? Like, what's your FA Cup memories or moments?
No, I think as far as we got, I think it was Southend, playing Southend away, and we got beat, I think 3-1. I can't even remember who we would have drew, but it wouldn't have mattered. We got beat, and I think we got beat pretty convincingly. So that's as far as it went for me. But I can understand.
Is it a welcome break from the league? Because again, and I know that this is often just an angle for pundits to talk about and stuff, but I do get it. I do get if you're a player and week in, week out, you're looking at have such and such a team drop points. Where are we in the league? Blah 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 blah. Is it sometimes just a bit welcome just to forget about that for a minute and look at some other competition? I
don't think for me it's not about forgetting about the league. It's more excitement of being in the FA Cup. Not for, like I say, not for the point of all right, we've got a break from the league now. We don't have to worry about 3 points or who's going to, get a result. It's that excitement and under them lights against. You could be playing against anybody. You could be playing against the league above, 2 leagues above. You could be drawing against someone three leagues below when you go in playing at a ground with a running track around it. You could be anywhere literally, and that's the magic of the FA Cup.
Yeah.
I mean, we've like I say, I've had the games where we played when I was at Southend again. This was to get to Oldham, which was I was kind of pissed off about because I played against Preston North End, and they were obviously they were in League above us. They were in League One at the time, and we played Preston North End away. Somehow drew 0-0. They hit the post 4 or 5 times, so I don't know how it got. I don't know how we got a replay, to be honest. But then we beat them at home, and I scored the winner. So then, just something like that. We played against Preston. They were a good team. They were flying in League One as well. And then we've got Oldham. We're thinking, well, because we've done Preston here, and that's the mentality you get. These lower teams will beat someone, and that's when we talk about momentum. You I think it was Oldham. Was it Oldham that beat Liverpool, and then Everton? They beat two Prem teams, and it was who was it? What was the striker called? He was at Bradford, and I think he went to Leeds. But he, you build that momentum. You not only do it in the league, you do it in the cup games because you're known as like, oh, you've made a bit of a name for yourself now. You've beat someone in the league above you. Hold on a minute, you've beat someone from 2 leagues above them now, and you get that momentum, and it carries you through the games, and that's when people have to start respecting you as well.
That, for me, that story that you've just told, that's the magic of the cup. The fact that you can talk about it 10 years later, still remember the details, still remember. It's not about trying to force it before the game. Do you know what I mean?
No.
It's when you talk about it 10 years later and you still remember it. I'm guessing, there'll be a lot of players who can still tell you what they had for breakfast that day.
Yeah, definitely. You know the ins and outs of it.
Well, I think, Chris, as well, an example of what you're talking about is Wigan. Remember when they went down, but they won it?
Yeah.
I remember.
City. So it's like you say, you could argue it is what you said. It's almost a break from the league, and the table. It's just a run of momentum, like Liam says. Everything's with them. The tide's with them. So
it's the magic of the cup this weekend. Even though I said 20 minutes ago, I'm not calling it the magic of the cup. It's now one that I've got my Harry Potter outfit on, and I can't wait to get down for. But it's the magic of the cup this weekend. It's the one that brings talking points of its own, I guess, and it's just one that brings all this and excitement that hopefully lets us see a goal fest. Before I wrap up, gents, because I'm aware it's a little bit of a shorter show tonight. We've all got a few things on, but one person I do want to give a shout out to, in addition to Connor, which we've already mentioned, is the boxer Liam Smith, who obviously a friend of yours, Dicko, played in a couple of the Sands United games a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
repping
this for Smithy.
For Smithy there, and Matty, I know that you know Liam Smith from the boxing world as well. Liam Smith put on a hell of a fight Saturday night in Liverpool to beat local rival Anthony Fowler. I'm going to be completely honest, right? I've said it on camera a number of times now, and I know both fighters fairly well. I actually fancied Fowler for the upset that night. Fair play to Smithy, he got the job done. But the reason I want to give him a shout out was because the next morning, do you know what he did?
No.
Back out playing the charity 11 aside.
Can't fault him.
So that's, do you know what I mean? After an all-out war where, don't get me wrong, he did not have everything his own way. He took some limp Saturday night. For him to get out and play footy Sunday morning after that.
Fantastic cause though, mate, and that's why I've got this on tonight.
Yeah.
Just a bit of a shout out to Sands United, which is a fantastic charity and a fantastic cause for men who've lost children due to miscarriage, neonatal, stillborn. It's just to be part of that was a fantastic thing for me. So yeah, hopefully I'll have this shirt back on again for him soon.
I came and watched that game, Dicko. You've still got a touch. You have definitely still got a touch, mate.
I nicked a couple. I think one come off my shin, and I think someone kicked at me back of the head and it went in.
Do you know what? The first half, I thought he's taking it a bit easier. The second half, he's ripped him to pieces. It was, speaking of Roy Jones, it was almost like a "you must have forgot" moment. Do you know what I mean? Just like
it was. I had to start to step up a little bit. I thought people were laughing at me. Look at that! Look at that fat has been.
Well, listen. If you ever need another run out, my 6-a-side team on a Sunday evening is always looking for players, mate.
We'll bear that in mind. No, I can't edit, can I? There's no point. Oh, I'm good at flick it on.
Yeah, you can. 6-a-side, mate. Yeah, you can. I'm on my way around to yours now with a contract, mate.
Oh, mate, mate. What do I get if I get man of the match? Pie and a pint? I'll take that.
If you want to buy a pie and a pint with your own money for
shout out on it.
Listen, lads, it's been a treat as always. It's a little bit of a shorter show than normal tonight, but I'm going to go and see what the streets of Newcastle have to offer. And Matty, I know you've got dinner on, so listen, boys, it's always a pleasure. We'll catch up next week on Podcast Thursday.
How are man? How are
the lads?